Hello, namaste, and today is November 5th. I am here looking at the current transits. I know I just did this yesterday for the 4th on our new moon. I wanted to do a new one today because I wanted to look at briefly for a few minutes the effects of the upcoming month of November, how that's going to be primarily affecting the um, president, Mr. Joe Biden. I wanted to go over a couple of aspects, and I want to look at how close the interpretations are with as the month goes by, because it's significant. It's affecting his 10th house of career, vocation, and all of that, and his own state of health and that sort of thing. Um, I don't necessarily see anything tragic, but I mean, except for maybe the mental aspect of it getting worse, of his ability to um, continue on. So we'll just see what the transits do. Specifically, Biden has a Scorpio rising chart, and his sun is there, along with the Venus. Um, and the ascendant. Obviously, it's the first house, Scorpio. So what that means is the influence of the sun is quite substantial, because the sun, for Scorpio rising people, it rules the 10th house of vocation, and his sun is in the 10th. Excuse me, his sun is in Scorpio, the first house, the rising sign. So that usually indicates like somebody who creates their own career or their own employment, or running for office, type thing. It's a little bit different than kind of a 9 to 5 type thing, um, or a lot bit different. So the upcoming eclipse on we have a couple of eclipses coming. We have a partial lunar eclipse coming up on the 18th, 19th of November. And then we have a solar eclipse on the 4th of December, just about a month from now. So that influence is going to be specifically hitting his sun, that rules over career and vocation and all of that. So an eclipse usually is taking something away. It's usually burning something up, or that kind of effect. And the eclipse is going to be pretty close to his sun, and so because these points in time are very sensitive, yes, but rarely do ever they like something hit on the exact day. That just because an eclipse hits that day doesn't necessarily it's exactly that moment in time. It's usually a day or two, or possibly a few days on either side of that time period, of the effect taking hold. Um, and in this case, it's relating to his work, his career. So that's going to be something to look at, just to pay attention to, if you're at all interested in watching the progression of how he does over the next month. Um, the the influence would seem like it would be fairly abrupt, like maybe with more difficulty with enunciating, or speaking in real clear sentences, because I know sometimes when he talks, he kind of fumbles around a little bit, and you're trying to follow him. So and sometimes he seems to be fine. Um, so it just really depends, and I'm really curious to see how this is going to take effect over him and his position of work, and all of that. Um, so that's going to be over the next 4 to 5 weeks are going to be, very interesting to pay attention to in regards to how he's doing. And I certainly don't mean him any ill will. It's a hard thing to see anybody go through mental challenges. Um, and I mean, I've said, at this age where he's at, you know, um, being in the Oval Office and all of that, I think it's a bit much. And um, at this point in life, we should be retired and enjoying our time at home with family and doing what we really love to do. I get, keep working and all of that kind of keeps us young and motivated, and I can appreciate that. But this next month to 2 months time period, this next November, December, is going to be very, very, I think, poignant and critical for his condition, health-wise, and to keep watching and keep tabs on it. So, like I said, over the next 4 or 5 weeks, specifically, there might be more influence. There might be something like the partial lunar eclipse is like on the 18th or 19th, like I said, and the moon represents the mind, and it represents kind of like how we perceive the world around us and that sort of thing. So the eclipse to that, as well as the Mars is going to be coming into Scorpio here over the next few weeks, like 2-3 weeks. Mars will be going into Scorpio, and when it does, maybe closer towards the end of the month. My point being, Mars has these very specific aspects as well. So dealing with an eclipse, all of that energy between the middle of the month and let's just say from the mid-November to mid-December, second weekend of December, that type of thing. Specifically for him, the Mars will be in Scorpio, and that will also be adding some tension and issues. Because it's also going to be aspecting the south node of the moon for him in his fourth house. What does that mean? Well, fourth house, among other things, of being, it represents real estate, it represents home, kind of where we lay our roots, but it also represents the mind, partly because of the fact that the moon is kind of like the natural karaka or significator of the mind, and it's the natural significator of the fourth house. And this, for Scorpios, it rules the 10th, but in general, I'm just saying. So when the moon is affected that severely, it can really play havoc with our mental faculties and that sort of thing. So something to watch, pay attention to, and just kind of keep note of it and over the next month or two. So we'll see what happens because of the transits, and then we'll kind of go from there. And I'll do some more of these, and we'll be posting those as well. So wanted to add that, and I'll put this on the YouTube, and please like the YouTube channel if you enjoy it, and I will talk to you all again soon. Namaste.